A show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Romney Turtola Pier Park, NV Salon, Nail Spa and Barbershop, Tisley Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment.
Tisley Cross Cider. Tisley Cross Cider. Deliciously smooth.
On today's edition of The Big Story, the BVI Health Services Authority has acquired its portable hospital. JTV News was on site today where key stakeholders tell the story.
First of all, thank you, Kathy, for coming here today. I think it's important for us to let the public know. Let the public know what are the opportunities and the things we have in terms of to support them during pandemics and during very difficult times, particularly storms. We're going to the hurricane season now, and this facility, Kathy, will serve as a good tool for us going forward. It is a modular field hospital. It could be dismantled into modules. You could have the whole hospital at one point, or you could have it in several different locations. For instance, if we have a hurricane, like in the case of Irma and Maria, we could have had a module in Virgin Gorda and a module in BVI in some other community. Even could be used as housing, temporary housing for persons who are displaced during a different period. So the actual facility is good for us going forward as a territory. It gives us extended capacity. I think the capacity for this particular facility is 40 beds currently, and that in itself it gives spillover capacity in the event of any catastrophic event or any pandemic that we're now currently going through. While we've relaxed our protocols, we still have to be mindful that COVID still is around, and we have to still be on watch and be mindful of any new variants that might develop, might cause us to go back or relapse from where we are today. But I want to commend the BVI Health Services Authority, the team at the Health Services Authority, for making the decision to get this facility initially for the pandemic, but it now could be used for many other things going forward.
Where does this put the BVI Health Services Authority in terms of its going forward? We know it has been going through a number of challenges.
Yeah.
Where does it put the facility now?
Well, we were able to get the staff trained on setting up the facility and operating the facility. I want to thank the team that came over to facilitate that. It gives them capacity, Kathy. We're also now working on looking at some of the systemic issues that we've had with the Health Services Authority. I have a meeting scheduled with the board, the chairman of the board and the CEO next week to start to deal with those deep-rooted issues that we have at the Health Services Authority. We always know that the issue of proper financing of the Health Services Authority has been an issue, and how the finances are managed. Those are issues that we're going to tackle head on and try to bring the facility to some kind of consistency in the way that is run, to provide proper and quality health care, continue to provide proper and quality health care to the people of this territory.
Okay, and what do you say to the people of the territory who make use of the facilities?
I want to say to them, continue to make use of the facilities. We're going to continue to improve the service at the facility, improve the service offering as a facility. We know we have our challenges, like anyone else around the world have their challenges, and we're going to work towards addressing the challenge, not complain about the things that are happening, but find solutions to fix the facility, to provide the service that we have at the facility. I want to commend the team at the Health Services Authority, the staff, from the janitorial staff up to the surgeons and everyone who works in the facility, who give their all every day at this facility. I want to thank them for their service. I want to let them know that they have a minister that will support them, that will listen to their concerns and work with them to fix the issues that are plaguing this facility, and has been plaguing this facility over the years.
Well, during the heights of the pandemic, it became quite apparent that we were going to be having some issues and challenges when there was a massive breakout, and we needed to have additional capacities to put those persons who were affected by the coronavirus and they were deemed necessary to go to the hospital. And the hospital at that time was filling up because we had people that were sitting in the emergency ward, and at the special unit they were in the not in the general ward, but we needed to have facility so that the ordinary person needing assistance could be assisted. We had to go to the multipurpose center, and we had to set up facilities there. But of course, you know that the youngsters, if they're not going to have the facility, then we have some issues. So the disaster preparedness coordinator, Mr. Bradford, he came and he made the proposal that there was this medical field facility that could be purchased, have readied, and he showed where this was being done in other jurisdictions. And in fact, these type of facilities are normally granted to island nations as a grant. But we had no such grant coming our way at the time. So we had to make sure that we set aside from the pandemic fund the resources necessary to purchase this and have it made available. So this facility, as you would see later, or as you were told, would be able to fit those emergency situations. DDM, Mr. Jason Penn, he was here because we're entering into the hurricane season. We have other natural disasters that are possible. So this particular facility is in 4 modules. A 10-bed facility could be housed in Virgin Gorda. We can then have the others here, Jocelyn Dyke, Anagata, anywhere that we have. So it comes fully equipped with its own power source, water source, water storage facility, and we just have to have a water source for it, and we can then move into quick action. So I think it is a bright step ahead for us. It puts us in another step of preparedness and have us available for any eventuality. Right? Well, we always say the motto is no crisis goes without some type of opportunity.
When it was ordered, it came with the intention of serving COVID. Could you explain what would have been some of the delays now that it came actually when we're out of a pandemic and more in an endemic?
Well, at the end of the day, we didn't order it at the start of it. But as you know, the distribution network, the manufacturing networks were all disrupted as a result of COVID, as a result of the war, and as a result of a number of shipping challenges that we have. So it was ordered because the funding had to be sourced, first of all, so that we can get it there. Nothing leaves until it's paid for. So we had to get the funding allocated. We had to get the process in terms of the HSA board had to approve this. And we were able to, at the ministry, although I'm not the minister, I have pledged my support for this. So Honorable Penn, he was here to view the facility, tour the facility. The Permanent Secretary, Davies, was here yesterday. So we have representatives from the manufacturing team, from the actual suppliers. They were here, they trained in how to erect this and how to set it up quickly. So our guys are on the ball, on the money, and they're prepared and ready to go.
I'm Mr. Rodney Bradford. I'm your emergency preparedness coordinator. Well, the facility is a 40-bed facility. It comes with its own administration tent. It comes with its water supply, one generator, and about 6 AC units, basically. It's going to can house 40 people. It comes with a shower and a toilet as well. First of all, in disaster preparedness, you have to prepare for whatever is there to come. Yes, it was bought for COVID and the COVID era, but we are in a disaster-prone area, hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, so we needed to have a facility that we can deploy quickly to mass casualties. We have an active tourist season, you might have a cruise ship incident, so we had to lay out a number of different things why this is necessary. And we don't want persons to see it as a COVID tent. We want them to see it as a step in disaster preparedness where we are planning for any eventualities. One of the plans we have in place is to engage the community a lot. We are moving towards community involvement. As you know, no country can sustain any disaster by themselves. So the next step here is to engage the community, Red Cross and all your NGOs, and do some basic training. In terms of preparedness, we have partnered with the HLSCC to do some emergency first responder courses. We'll continue to do that. In terms of staffing in the hospital, we recognize there's a challenge, but the board is moving swiftly to correct those challenges. The staff were trained by one of the representatives from the company to erect it, and we will do training every 6 months or so to keep us refreshed in what we're doing. The facility can set up in different components. So we don't have to use all 40 beds one time. We can send 10 beds one place, 10 another place. So it's kind of flexible, multi-purpose. One of the uses is when we have medical events, large crowd events, to move part of the facility to that to provide a medical tent. So we are always prepared. So you can move in stages. You can send 10 beds to Anigada. You can send 10 beds to the Port Authority if you had a cruise ship incident or whatever. So it's pretty flexible.
So my name is Jorge Ortiz. The company I work for is Western Shelter System. We're the manufacturer of the shelters that you see behind us. There are several things. One of them is the system is modular. So it means that you can connect it or configure the system any way you want. Right now it's shaped as a U shape has on it. But you can, depending on the field that you're working at, you can fix it anywhere you want to. Not only that, but it accounts for generator, HVAC, so it can operate anywhere without having the regular electricity, regular water source, so it can work independently. Durability, so part of the training was how to keep the system on time, how to keep the system right, how to keep it clean. It can last for about 10 years if you maintain the equipment on the right way. If you're not using it, you want to storage the equipment. As long as it's dry, that equipment will last for about 10 years or more. We had about 12 to 15 people here trained these past 2 days. It's basically an entire training on how to assemble the system, how to disassemble the system, how it works, how to maintain it, how to provide proper care to the equipment. It takes everything from A to Z on how to maintain the equipment to be able to be useful.
Okay. In the event that there is something major that would have gone wrong, is your company in an arrangement where you can hop on the plane and get here to take care of that?
I've been asked that a few times. Yeah, it is possible. Anything's possible. We drive on customer service. So if that's something that's needed at any time, on an agreement with the government, of course we can do that.
Our beds are not installed at the moment. We have our beds in storage, 40 beds in storage. So, but for direct assembly purposes, we did not bring any of the beds.
Okay, so they're all collapsible.
They're all collapsible. They're field beds. They're all collapsible. So once we set up, we bring the beds and put 10 beds in each section.
Each 10-room facility has a nursing station?
No, there's one central nursing station.
Oh,
but we still have the capacity to put the next nursing station on if we had to.
Oh, okay.
This center comes equipped with 2 hygiene centers, what we call hygiene centers, basically toilet, bath, and sink. As you can see right ahead, where the toilet is and the bath. The water comes in from a pump outside, which I'll show you a little later. Comes into here, and then it goes back out. The gray water is collected outside in its own bladder. The toilet facility comes with a chemical that would treat the sewage, and then we can just discard of it as we choose to.
Okay, more like a porta potty.
Yeah, but it's not liquid anymore. It's solidifies it, and you can treat it and everything. Takes all anything infectious out of it.
Oh.
So it comes with that from the company. There are 4 more sinks throughout the facility, at various points in the facility, that the nurses and anybody can wash their hands.
What's this?
This is your thermostat to control the AC. It has, remember, the center has about 6 ACs connected to it and its own electrical system. So the beautiful thing about this center is that we can deploy it and don't have to worry about utilities. It comes with generator, AC, and its own water supply. And the bath is hot and cold as well. We have a heater on the outside. The good thing about the facility is independent, self-sufficient. So once we take it into the field, we can operate for generator has the capacity to operate for at least 2 days, depending on the load, right? It has that capacity. The next goal of us here at the BVIHSA is to liaise with PAHO to try to get it certified to like a level 1 facility that you can do some more procedures, and then build on that in the future to get it to about a level 3 facility where we can do even minor surgeries. That's one of our main goals here. Right, so you have 6 AC units connected to the facility, right, which gives your HVAC system. You have your power supplies, comes from the generator, and that supplies the whole unit. And any electrical components that we should put into the unit, that generator has the capacity to do that. Right? This big thing here is the storage containers for the tents. But the good thing about it is the top of that storage container is also a table.
Okay.
So when we take this off, it has legs on the inside. We can use that as a table. So we have at least 6 tables for the shelter, but generally that is the storage case for it.
Is there a component for solar energy on these?
We have not explored that as yet, but I believe solar energy is coming, and that is something we can explore, and I can speak to the company to see how that would work. But we can use solar if we had to do an external lighting for sure, but we can explore that.
You could use solar energy for the regular electricity, but to feed the air conditioners electricity, the solar energy that you will be requiring is very, 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 very large. It's not impossible, but we're talking about possibly a full container, full 20-foot container full of solar panels to be able to feed the air conditioner. So as far as solar, yes, you could. It's just going to be a lot of panels to be able to acquire the same type of voltage that is required to operate everything.
So coming out to the back, you've heard us spoke about the showers and the water and stuff, the own supply. So what you have here is 2 bladders. You have your fresh water and grey water storage, and you have your pump. So it holds at least 150 gallons of fresh water, and once you turn on the pump, it goes into the shower, and then there's the next pump to bring it back out into your grey water for storage. You will just have to empty your grey water. What you have here is your water heater. So we can give you hot water for the patients. When they're showering, they can get hot water as well. So the patients would not have to shower in cold water. There's supposed to be another bladder in the center of that can hold 300 gallons to run the other things. So we have a 300-gallon bladder, and we have a 150-gallon bladder. So that makes the center very efficient and operational in any disaster situation, and we can take it anywhere.
I'm Cecil Jahphix, Department of Disaster Management, Community Relations Officer. We stand here with the field hospital. Even without the hurricane season, it's a definite plus. And in my case, looking at the sister islands especially, looking at additional accommodation in the event there's a major emergency, we may be cut off, but we should be able to get some assistance over whether with the medical teams, or even as you look at it, even for sheltering. If you have major emergency needed and you need some sheltering outside, then this definitely is a plus. And these facilities definitely are comfortable to be walking in. Being in there, the AC is very cool and nice, so it may give the workers a little bit of comfort as well as while they're doing anything that they're doing, whether in an emergency, disaster management, or externally.
And this is something that you guys thought would have been needed for some time?
Yeah, definitely. This is a more than much needed facility. It has been in place for a while, trying to get something that is set up and established here in the BVI.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.